Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about eSports because, well, it's been blowing up over the last few years, and people who are older just can't stand it, man. They don't understand it, and when they try to understand it, they can't stand it. So an article came out from CNN following the Fortnite World Cup starting. With it came a video of two kids who are participating in the World Cup under the FaZe Clan organization. And personally, I think that that's a good thing because I like to see that. As somebody who enjoys esports, I love to see it when the mainstream media and organizations that have a much more vast reach start to publicize things like that because it broadens the reach of esports and it helps people who don't understand anything about it have an opportunity to learn about it. But then, of course, old people, they don't like to try and learn new things sometimes. Now, that's not to say all old people are this way, but the majority of them just don't care to try and learn about esports. And it isn't just old people, I guess. I mean, there's people who are young too, who have the old people mentality or the boomer mentality of just, them newfangled video games are ruining the children's brain and esports are bad. Why don't they just pick up a basketball and go outside or work in the factory all day? It's amazing, man. So we're going to go ahead and take a couple clips of this video, take a look at them, and then we'll go ahead with some of these comments because they're golden, man. We got to take a look at this first. So this kid alone has made over $100,000 from tournaments, and you can tell he's pretty young. He's not, 45 or anything. It's a pretty young kid.
My name is Noam, and people know me as FaZe Mega.
My name's Danny Walsh, and everyone knows me as FaZe Dubs. Right now, I make about $80,000 a year, and from tournaments, I've made like over 100,000.
I make like 120K like this year, and especially with the World Cup coming up, I know me and Dubs can make like even more.
But like later, I plan to like be more on like the content side and do streaming and like YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, in 5 years, I also see myself like streaming, doing YouTube, and also playing pro. Yeah, it was like really unexpected, like knowing the prize pool, which was like really big. But me and Dubs, we've been like grinding for a while.
This is life-changing money. Now, the problem is of course, they're not 18, so the money would probably go over to their parents, and unfortunately, their parents probably could do with whatever with their money. I don't know how that would work, but I don't know if the organization would hang on to their money or what the whole situation would be. I don't know how that necessarily would go down, but I mean, this is a potential life-changing opportunity for these kids. And I mean, they're already making very decent money. They have an opportunity outside of just esports to go into content creation, streaming, all kinds of stuff. And there's all kinds of them, man. And they're competing in this Fortnite World Cup, and this is only one game of just many esports. Fortnite's not even that big of an esport realistically. There's, Overwatch, Rocket League, League of Legends, Dota, StarCraft, Hearthstone, Super Smash Bros, Street Fighter, Call of Duty. There's sports games like FIFA and Madden, and 2K has its own league. There's all kinds of esports, man. They're all over the place now. But Fortnite's prize pool is $30 million for this event. It's a very life-changing experience, and people are apparently just not understanding that. I mean, here, let's take a look at some of these comments here. So we got that Denver guy, the YouTuber, yo, the boys made CNN. We got this guy here, no more factory and office jobs. Everyone will be a gamer, YouTuber, or influencer. Because, yeah, that sounds super realistic. Yeah, we won't need factories or office jobs. Those will just become obsolete because gamers, YouTubers, and influencers will literally just, they'll have the whole infrastructure of the world under their palms. We'll be fine. This sentence made complete sense. This guy is very intelligent. This whole thing was very well written, very well thought through. Oh, here we go. How sad. Don't kids these days go outside anymore? Because, if you play video games and if you're a professional at video games, you just can't go outside, man. It's impossible to have a social life or have friends or anything. I mean, if you play video games for 8 hours a day and do it as a job, for pretty much the same length as anyone who has a regular job, how could you ever go outside? They'll never be able to grow and have a career if they don't learn marketable skills. Because it's not a career to make $120,000 in half of a year at the age of 14 from gaming tournaments and have the chance to make millions of dollars from one tournament. That's not a career. It's not a marketable skill to be so good at a video game that you have the opportunity to win millions of dollars at one tournament. That's not a marketable skill at all. Of course, here I am, because you know me, I had to say something. I'm assuming this is a troll comment because he's got a creator code linked, but G Fuel had a comment to say about this. Don't do games, prefer a good book. I like how they say don't do games like it's a drug, like, oh, kids, don't do games, it's bad for you. Don't do those video games. If you inject the video games, they're going to be really unhealthy for you. Read a good book. Believe it or not, I'm a gamer who also reads lots of books. It's okay to have more than one hobby. There you go. It's almost like you can have more than one hobby. The amount of boomer in the comments is hurting my soul. Go drink a sugar-free Monster and ruin the environment some more. My son wants to do this. I'm all for it as long as the grades stay up and his little 14-year-old attitude doesn't lose his gaming console. Thank you. Thank you. See, there's a parent that understands it, who has it figured out. There you go. Be supportive of your child and set some guidelines and be a parent. There you go. Good for them. If this is where the future is heading, then they're ahead of the curve. Okay, so some people seem to understand. There we go. Thank God. Okay, exactly. I saw some people telling them to get a job. I don't know. Earning six figures sounds like a job to me. We need to stop putting people down for finding new ways to make money, please. Plus, at least video games doesn't lead to brain injuries like football. Well, spitting some facts there, not gonna lie. But I mean, let's keep it real. When you look at 99% of the people who are hating on esports and you compare their positions to the positions of these people who are half their age, sometimes even a third of their age, I mean, you can see why they'd be jealous. These kids are 14 and 16 years old each and are making more money than the average person, way more money than the average person, just because they're really good at video games. And they're not even the highest earners either. I mean, the Fortnite World Cup is just alone boasting a $30 million prize pool, and I don't think that's even the highest prize pool in any esports history. This one event is paying out $30 million to these players. Meanwhile, there's all these people at home making, $30,000 a year, working a 9-to-5 at some job that they absolutely hate. They hate their lives when they go home. Why wouldn't they be mad at some kid who's doing infinitely better in life than them? A lot of these people simply don't understand it. I mean, a lot of it comes down to just being a generational thing. It's with older forms of technology back in the day even. I'm sure some parents couldn't believe the kids found a way to make money by capitalizing on it, All these kids are acting on that television now. Them black and white screens are gonna burn your retinas to death, kid, They simply just don't understand technology after a certain point. It just grows to a point they don't keep up with it. I'll bring up a good example here. My grandpa. I have an awesome grandpa, okay? He's not like a lot of older people in the respect that he actually tries to understand what's going on with current technology. I mean, a lot of older people refuse to try and learn anything about it. A lot of them just give up on what's currently going on with technology because they don't care. They couldn't be bothered to try to learn it. But he actually doesn't. He tries to learn how to use everything on his laptop. He tries to learn how to use all the apps on his phone. He tries to learn how to use everything on the TV. And even if he can't learn all of it because he didn't grow up with the technology like I did, and he isn't adept with it like all of us are because we grew up with it, I mean, at least he puts forward some effort. I don't mind helping him with stuff like that. And what I'm trying to get at here is he knows a lot about esports, which is what actually shocked me. Because one day I was just sitting there with him and we're talking about something random and he just starts talking about esports and I'm just floored. How many conversations have you had with your grandpa about esports? It was awesome. I mean, he was supportive of the concept. He was interested in how the industry operated and how it was a developing concept and how 20 years ago something on this scale wasn't feasible. And it makes me wonder why more people his age or even younger than him can't be that way. Why more people his age can't just break a little bit out of their technological comfort zone and just try to learn about something new. Because, I mean, CNN and literally the whole internet just gives you the information. There's plenty of info there to learn about it, and yet you have all these people that are against it, and it's funny because older people are always against change of some kind. In younger generations, they hate the music, they hate on the trends. That's kind of how it always goes. But this is crazy because there's so much blatant misinformation that boomers eat up. They always act like they don't ever leave their houses. They can't have friends. They can't be popular. There's no way that they're making money. But most of the time, these people are legitimate celebrities. They're living the good life. Lots of them are out here getting way more cooch than most of the people hating on them. They're living their dreams. And then you have these people who just can't understand that. Esports isn't even really a hard concept to understand, I feel. I mean, if you understand like sports on a basic level, you can understand esports on a very basic simple level. It's just people playing video games. It's all it really is. Like, gaming is now the biggest entertainment source in the world. It's bigger than Hollywood. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than books. It's the biggest source of entertainment on earth. More people are playing video games than ever, and it just so happens that a lot of games can be played competitively. And some people can become super freakishly good at these games, and people like to see good people play good games. But somehow people act like this is a foreign concept that is just super hard to grasp onto, and they're just like, why would people want to go to a stadium and watch all these really good players play one another at something that they like watching? So you're telling me they really enjoy this, and they know people are better than them at it. Why would they want to watch better people do something they can do themselves? I don't know. How come you watch people who are better than you at basketball play basketball then, Fred? And a lot of the same exact people who are making fun of esports players are the same people who go to Buffalo Wild Wings every Sunday to watch sports, and they get drunk and belligerent with other grown men because some other grown man at the bar disrespected a grown man playing a game 800 miles away over some other grown man's most favorite team. Or it was his favorite fantasy football player or something, and these guys are laughing at esports like it's stupid, and they're calling them nerds, yet they're worshiping jerseys that have the names of other grown men on them, but they're laughing at esports fans for doing the same exact thing, except it's just, a different coat of paint. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy both esports and regular sports. When it comes to esports, I really like watching Call of Duty, I really like watching Rocket League, I even like watching CSGO. I'm a huge Miami Heat fan in sports. I idolized Dwayne Wade growing up. I'm a huge Boston Red Sox fan. We're not that great this year. I've been able to see both of these teams win championships in my lifetime. I'm a huge Miami Dolphins fan, even though they've sucked my whole life. I'm a huge Miami Hurricanes fan, even though they've sucked pretty much my whole life too. They did win a championship when I was like 1 year old. But I'm not one of these sports fans who scoffs at esports and goes and laughs at people because they like going to Rocket League events, while at the same time crying into my hands at the age of 45 because my team missed a field goal in an insignificant game. And then of course they stream and all kinds of other things. Like, people just don't really understand the reality of it, and they don't understand how far technology's come, and I think they have this perception that video games are still like they were in the 90s, and that's not how it is. The future is now, old man. Esports, it's here, and it's here to stay. They're not going anywhere. They're going to keep getting bigger. You're going to see more esports arenas pop up, and you're going to see them actually become bigger and bigger. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to sit around and keep getting jealous because people who are good at video games are making way more money than you are because, they quote-unquote don't have marketable talents. Meanwhile, the only thing you have is a high school diploma and a job that earns you like $24,000 a year while you literally have no marketable skills. I mean, that's all on you, man. That's really up to you. But hey, what do I know? I'm just one of those YouTubers who doesn't have a job, right? So, that's just not what the government says at the end of the year when they want my federal tax. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below, lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, going into esports and signing out.